Hi, FlossTube.
Hi, FlossTube.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this is
Just Keep Stitchin', episode 101. Wow, 3 numbers.
I wasn't sure how you were going to say it, so we didn't rehearse.
Oh, we did not, because we don't rehearse. 100 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 is 101.
That was math. A cop-out.
This is my segment. I can math how I want.
Okay.
Cuz math, everyone. Okay, we can officially begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Howdy doody.
Hope you've had a great week.
Yep.
We've had an awesome week, which we'll tell you about. And
which we're not going to tell you about. Bye. Have a great week.
And we hope everybody is looking forward to a nice week as well.
Yes.
We are well into June.
So
we have lots to talk about regarding cross stitch, 24 hours of cross stitch. We've been stitching like a boss, and we have had
just a lovely week.
A lot of prep regarding StitchCon, and we are looking forward to that. So, lots to talk about. Let's get going.
All right. So, Friday, as in 2 days ago, was the first Friday of the month. And our local needlework shop, Keepsakes, not only our local needlework shop, also my employer, we have a first Friday stitch-in every month. And so that means that the shop is open late. And we stay open till about 10:30. And it was a banana pants day.
It was banana pants because
it was so busy.
She shows up for work, right? I'm in the car with her. And we pull into the driveway. And there had to have been already...
The parking lot was full.
Full. Yeah, we had some parking issues.
We had lots of cars.
Where, you call out the make and model and color and you say,
who drives the silver Nissan?
Yeah, you need to move that so that this one can go home or this one's coming in. And the poor UPS man was like, I can't even deliver the mail.
Yeah, it was bad. But I mean, it's good.
So
we're not complaining. I mean, that's
we're not
amazing,
complaining,
right?
But it was crazy busy.
It was insane.
And we knew of 3 people who were coming in specifically to see us. And so we're kind of keeping our eyes peeled toward the front of the store. And we actually had not a major, but kind of a mini miscommunication regarding a Julie that had communicated with Stephanie that she was coming into town.
Yeah.
And a Julie that had communicated with me that she was coming into town. And one of your favorite cross-stitch Facebook and Instagram people's husband was in town.
This is true.
And was sent with an assignment.
Right.
So
let's talk about him first.
Let's talk about him first. Many of you have, if you make videos, you've seen her comment on both FlossTube and on Instagram, and you probably follow her. She's a Maine gal, and she has gifted us many times with wonderful cat gifts and so forth. And her name is Michelle. But you might know her as Maine Moose Mom.
Yes.
And
she's the one that made the catnip logs. For Mo and Muffin.
I don't think she made them. I think her grandkids made them.
But they were sent to us from her.
She sent them along with a nice note. And is it Maine Moose Mom or Maine Moose Stitcher?
Maine Moose Mom Stitcher.
Stitcher is at the end?
I believe
All of a sudden
so.
I'm blanking out. Sorry, Michelle.
I believe so.
So anyway, we get a message from Michelle, and she said, my husband's going to be in Cincinnati, or has been in Cincinnati this week for work, and I have sent him a list, and you're going to see him at Keepsakes. And so I went, great.
Yeah.
I said, what's his first name? And she said, his name is Don, and he's kind of a big guy, so you're not going to be able to miss him.
Right. I mean, the number of men that come in the shop is
right,
like
very,
than
very
5.
limited. You know, not zero, but very, very limited.
Right.
And funny thing is, they're usually sent to pick up something or
Right.
drop something off,
Right.
or they're with a list. Well, true to form, here comes Dawn,
And I said, "You must be Dawn." And he was like, "Hi."
And he's coming into the shop, and there are women wall to wall, floor to ceiling.
Floor to ceiling women.
So, I spotted him, and I get up from where I'm sitting at the table to come say hi. And what was the most comical of all, he says, first of all, I was told I needed to get a selfie with you guys.
Number 1 on the
Number
list.
1, and most of you have seen that on Instagram already. And, but in his sheets of paper, his pages of instructions, was actually
a photo of us.
A photo of us, on regular paper,
us.
but just so that she wanted to make sure that he found us. That was kind of funny. And so
it was hilarious.
He was sent to find probably about 8 to 10 charts, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, so there was one floss color that she needed, and so I gave him directions upstairs to the floss room, and I was like, if I don't see you in 10 minutes, then I will come find you, make sure you're not lost.
Yeah.
So I actually had to go upstairs and get floss for another customer, and I saw him, and he was FaceTiming Michelle, and so I said hi to her, and blah, blah. And then I went and pulled the floss I needed for this other customer, and then I walked back, and he was just kind of like...
Yeah, his eyes were starting to glaze over.
And I was like, give me the list. Just give me the list. So I said, okay, so this is here, and blah, blah, blah. So we didn't have everything on the list, but I had a lot on the list. I felt pretty good about it. I was like, check. Yeah. And he was like, thank you, I never would have been able to find all these. Yeah. He's like, how do you keep it all straight? And I was like,
So, hi to Michelle and Dawn. Hi. And we're so glad to have met at least hubby, and someday we'll meet you, Michelle, in person. But so that was fun.
It was wonderful.
And somewhere in the middle of all of that, this woman comes in, kind of, the doe in the headlights kind of look.
Right.
And she kind of waved at me, and I said, "Are you Julie?" And she said, "Yes." And so I get up to say hi and everything, and I said, "So you're from Indiana, right?" And she looked at me and she said, "No, I drove for 2 days from South Carolina." And I went, "South Carolina? You're not the Julie that I knew was coming."
Right.
Well,
she's a Julie I knew was coming.
Stephanie had been given the heads up, of course. Julie drove from South Carolina, people, and she
for a span of weeks.
She has no LNS nearby.
Nope.
I think she said there used to be one in Rock Hill.
So. I
think she said that. But that's a ways from where she lives. And she had no one to stitch with. So that was kind of nice that she got the treat of coming.
Yeah, and she spent the whole day at Keepsakes.
She was there all through the evening.
Left at 10.
Brought some past the stash, and I claimed a few of them. Our friend Katie grabbed a nice book that she had, and the rest we'll put on the freebie table at StitchCon, and there's some good stuff in there. And so she stayed through the whole thing.
She was a champ.
The whole thing.
She was like, typically we order pizza.
Yeah.
And me, with my waitressing experience, go around the room, and I'm like, well, what would you like? I pay with cash or card, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I take everyone's order, right? Because it's just easier for us to just be like, and then I take the whole order, and I go upstairs where it's quiet, and then I call and I make the order. So I get around to Julie, and I was like, what would you like? And she was like, I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
And I was like, oh yeah. And I said, I explained to her, like, La Rosa's is what we usually order because it's right down the street from the shop. Anyone that's familiar with Cincinnati knows what that is. And it's like a staple in Cincinnati.
Sure.
And so it was funny just to, like, sit down and order dinner with her or whatever. But
Right.
so then she stayed and she had dinner, and then after dinner, her and I had a really good long chat, just kind of about her life and about my life, and she's a very, very, very sweet girl. I could have put her in my pocket. She was that small, but she's so cute and loves FlossTube. And her sister also stitches, and her sister, she's two sisters. One of them lives in California, and it was that sister that got her hooked on FlossTube, and then she found us, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I had a nice chat with her too. She eventually found an empty spot next to me at the table, and we had a nice chat. So hi, Julie. It was great to meet you.
Yes, it was wonderful.
And then in the middle of more crazy, Julie from Indiana comes in.
Finally found Julie.
And she was delightful as well. Turns out that she knows Vonna pretty well.
Right.
And
grew up, go to the same church for centuries.
Yeah. So Vonna, if you're watching, we met your friend Julie. And who lives in Bloomington, Indiana, that area.
Yeah.
And
Rick.
And we met Rick, her husband, and we had the traditional pictures by the sign.
Right.
Both ladies ended up with green gingham bags, which meant that
it was a successful trip.
Cross stitch was purchased.
Correct.
So it was a really, really fun day. Of course, at the tail end, at around 4, was the beginning of 24 hours of cross stitch.
Right.
Which is organized by Jen Lee on FlossTube and her mom. And I don't know, we saw much of her mom this round. This was what they billed as take 3.
Yeah.
I did not participate in take 1 or the original,
right,
which just blew up in popularity.
It was kind of like just Jen, though.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They didn't open it up to, well, they might have informally, but it wasn't as formalized until it got around to take 2.
Right.
I participated in that.
Right.
And did the full 24 hours. And that was First Friday Stitch-In, just like this last
Take
one
3
was.
First Friday.
So at 4 o'clock at the shop, I pulled out what everybody had voted on my Instagram poll. It was a choice between Halloween at Hawk Run or Early Americans, and overwhelmingly the vote was Halloween at Hawk Run. So that's what I started at 4 o'clock, worked on until we left Keepsakes, came home, got into our comfy clothes, and I continued with that. But
first, let's show the gifts from Julie.
Okay, let's.
So Julie,
that's going to take a little bit of lifting.
Well, I'm going to show it piece by piece, and then I'll show it.
Okay, so if you remember last week, we talked a lot about my finish of Let's Do Wine. Oh, yeah. So I think that in more or less response to that, when we were outside doing the pictures, Julie and Rick presented us with this bucket, you guys.
It's not a bucket full of wine. Don't get excited.
No.
But so instead of trying to lift the whole bucket, I'm just going to show you piece by piece. So it had the tissue paper and everything in it, and this really, really, really sweet card.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Julie and Rick, because Rick signed it too.
Yes.
We did not open the gift until we got home because it was the middle of the day and it was bad.
Right.
So she did say that everything that was in the bucket is local to Bloomington, Indiana, with the exception of the gift for me, and that was fine, whatever. So that was one of the first things we did when we got home Friday was opened the bucket,
right,
and in it was this yours.
Yeah. So she brought a bottle of Oliver wine, and it is produced and bottled in Bloomington, Indiana.
Yep.
All you Hoosiers that drink wine.
All you Hoosier winos out there.
Yeah. So appreciate that. Ironically, in the comments from last week's video where for the giveaway you were suggesting wines for me. Laura Reed, Slovak Farm, had suggested Oliver wine. Not this particular kind, but it was the Oliver Vineyard. So Oliver Winery and Vineyard, an employee-owned company in
Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah, oliverwinery.com. So that was in the bucket from Julie and Rick.
Yep. And then my beverage, hashtag obviously, duh. And each of these were individually wrapped with tissue paper, and it was hysterical. Yeah. For 6 bottles of...
Guess what?
Mountain Dew.
I know that was a hard guess.
Hard guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And then 2 items from Dillman, Dillman,
Dillman Farm.
And Dillman Farm, Bloomington, Indiana proud.
Right.
And it says, we believe that the food we eat should be as simple and natural as possible. We use no preservatives, additives, or corn syrups. Recipes and other unique uses for our products can be found at dillmanfarm.com. And so this is Midwest barbecue sauce.
Wow.
Freaking pumped up.
Yeah, that's going to go fast.
Yum.
As will this. This is blueberry butter spread.
So is it like thick as butter?
Well, I haven't opened it
yet.
No, don't open it yet. We need to get some...
bread to put it on.
Well, we need to get some bagels, maybe, I was thinking.
Oh, bagels?
Bagels.
English muffins.
Well, whatever. We'll discuss.
Okay. Which bread product they're going to go on.
Which bread product. So, awesome. Yeah. Awesome choice.
So, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Those are both going to be... yeah, you heard right. So, all of this was in this bucket. And we were just talking about how Barbara has just done a hard finish mounting on a bucket.
Right. The cross stitch like
and
here.
So I think maybe that's what we're going to do. We're going to find a design and mount it on that bucket.
Yeah,
maybe use it for who knows what.
We'll put fake flowers in it.
Yeah, we'll put, because we don't, we don't dig. So anyway.
Also, just a PSA, children can fall into this bucket and drown. Keep children away from buckets with even a small amount of water.
Yeah.
And then there's a visual aid of a baby falling into this bucket.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Not good.
So anyway.
I'm waiting for a cat to get in the bucket, but don't worry, there won't be any water.
Yeah. And we want to also mention that our good friend Tony, who is one of our local stitchers, Tony Stitches in KY on Instagram. I'm sure you've seen that many, many times.
Yeah.
Tony's sister Beth.
Love Beth.
Which... who came to Stitch Away in January with Tony. I think we might have posted a picture of Tony and Beth together because they got matching jammies. It was really cute.
They're amazing.
And so Beth lives in Findlay, Ohio, where the craft gallery is. And you've heard us talk about going to that L&S up in Findlay.
Right.
Well, what's also in Findlay is Dietz's. I think I'm saying that right. Dietz's. That's where the chocolate-covered pretzels came.
Oh, yeah.
And
she brings them every time, and I never get any.
Oh, my God. And it's also an ice cream shop in Findlay. And if you're going to Findlay for the craft gallery, you need to make an additional stop at Dietz's because their chocolates are unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Not only did she bring chocolates for the group at Stitchin', I'm talking about Beth here now.
Right.
But very sneakily, because at one point she was sitting next to me, later on in the evening, I think.
Continue.
She is a beautiful, beautiful seamstress, quilter, and she just kind of slipped this across from her lap to mine, and she said, "This is for you. Wait till you see this."
They're freaking amazing.
She said, "I saw this fabric, Pam, and all I could think of was you." Look at this fabric on this huge...
Oh my gosh, did you notice that the way that she quilts it looks like waves?
Yes, project bag.
That's amazing.
Look at this fabric. I mean...
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
All right, and then
the inside fabric is different.
And then I want you to notice, look at all these panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 panels.
Yep, 2 of each.
2 of each. And yes, you can see inside because
that's amazing.
There is a Notions bag.
Also with a handle.
Inside, also with a handle. This time she did the square.
I love it.
Quilting. I mean, she is very, very talented. And I found out, I did not know this, maybe you did, but I did not.
I did know this.
I said, wait a minute. There are project bags for sale at the Craft Gallery in Findlay. And she went, yeah, those are mine.
Right.
So another reason to go to the Craft Gallery. Yep. Our second favorite LNS.
Yes.
And Beth sells bags through Paula.
I just realized, look at the inside down here. It's this shelf.
Oh, yeah. What Stephanie's referring to is...
Can you see down inside there, the back of the panels?
You can, but down in there, there's blue...
Yeah, there's the blue shell fabric.
Yeah, shell fabric down in
there. It's
here.
just the details.
Which is this. This fabric here.
So that's
I teared right up. That's
and then
3
or 4 different fabrics.
Yeah, and she winked at me and she goes, I've got one for Steph too.
Right.
So where do you see this one?
This is mine. Are you ready? Complete with handle.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at those little kitty faces. And then, can you tell? These are little fish bones. Are you dying?
Yep.
With a handle.
Yep.
And then the back fabric is that. I love it.
It's just beautiful.
It's so freaking cute.
Yep.
And then I got a Notions bag with a handle. And I love... So my favorite Q snap size is 11. I mean, it's probably like 8 by 11, somewhere in between. But I like the larger Q snaps just because then I don't have to move it so much.
Right.
So when I, because I always bring cross stitch everywhere I go. And so I have bags that fit an 11 by 11. But I like, and they fit in my bag just fine. But I like that these have handles because then it doesn't take up room in my regular stitchy bag, which is really, really cool.
These are a great size.
Yeah.
Really.
Awesome.
Really.
I love them.
For anybody working on a large project that for at least maybe, temporarily, you wouldn't want to leave anything on a Q-snap for...
Right.
a really, really long extended period of time.
Right.
But
it's a very
publicly...
Thank you, Beth.
Just a big thank you again for
oh my gosh, thank you
for those bags.
Yes.
So
and then the last thing this happened as Kim she just came in and was like, hi, I love your channel, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, thank you, how are you? And then she shopped for a little bit and then she had this box of stuff and I didn't get around to finding mine until literally right before we left at 10:30, and she came in with a box of these adorable little pincushion animals. Mm-hmm. So mine's a little piggy.
Yeah.
And she wrote me a very sweet note. Thank you, Kim. She is Kim Crabtree, KDC Tree, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so. These are so cute. She had a bunch of little animals, and they're amazing, and I love it. So cute.
Yeah, mine is
What's yours, Pam?
blue fabric, and it's a little lamb. So
cute.
Isn't that precious? So thank you, Kim. That was just delightful.
So delightful.
She walked in with a box of those.
Yes, she did.
And I think she thought she might be able to give them out at the table, but...
there were so many people there.
There were so many people there that...
She's like, I underestimated the number of people that were going to be here. And we were like, yeah.
Because, she brought in a nice selection, but it was far more than...
there were people.
There were people. So Barbara's got an idea what she's going to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the bang up end of our week last week. And it really didn't end until...
well, it's not over yet, Pam. It's still Sunday.
Well, it really didn't end until the end of 24 hours of cross stitch. I made it till about
You went to bed about 3
p.m.
p.m.
on Saturday. Which,
Your days
if
are
I'd
still
made it
messed
to
up.
4, I know, I'm still kind of discombobulated. If I'd made it to 4, I would have done 24 hours of consecutive stitching, minus the transportation home from the shop on Friday night.
Right.
I was literally falling asleep between stitches.
And
I just said, that's it, I can't.
And
I just, I didn't really want to swap out a project. I didn't think that would keep me any more awake than,
oh, really? No.
than working on Hawk Run. And I was pleased with my progress. And she lasted until about
I stopped stitching.
4 or 5.
Nope. I went
Saturday morning.
Can I tell what happened?
Sure.
So it's fine. So I that face. So I finished a project. I said I'm staying awake until I finish this project, and I finished it at 6 a.m.
Right.
And then I didn't go to. I had something to eat, and then I didn't go to bed until like 7.
Yeah, it messes you up.
It totally screws your whole freaking world up.
So I went to bed when I got tired.
What?
What was that?
I don't know.
A cat jumping or something? I don't know.
I don't think a cat jumping makes that.
You don't know. You're rarely below that noise, but I have been. So I think that might have been a cat.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then so I slept from 7 till 7:30 till 2.
Right.
And then I woke up and I came downstairs and I was like, "Hey Pam, how you doing?" And she was just like,
I was a mess.
I don't know what my name is.
Yeah.
And I was like, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I really thought she was going to make it.
So we kind
to 4.
of passed like ships in the night, literally.
Yeah.
For what, 2.5, 3 hours, and then I just said that's it.
Yeah, if that.
And I went to bed and I slept until
You got up about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock last night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
Last night.
So then
Boy,
she
screwed up.
Yeah, and then so she woke up and I
thought, what am I gonna do? I gotta get myself back in my usual routine. So I had some wine and some cheese.
So I drank a little bit. And
because sometimes you have to do that.
And then she went to bed about 1:30 and
Yeah.
I was up till 2:30 and then you said you're not really back to normal yet, but
Well, I'm getting there. I was up at my usual time this morning, about 8. So, and we'll show you what we worked on for 24 hours of cross stitch.
Yeah.
But first we want to talk about other stuff that we've been stitching.
Yeah, are you going to do your...
Oh, but before we get to that, just
Come on,
making
Pam.
sure you keep a track.
Oh, yeah.
Pam's pinned comment for last week.
Right.
That's what time it is.
It's time for Pam's pinned comment.
Pam's pinned comment on last week's video comes to us today from Karen Maddox. Thank you, Karen, for commenting, number 1.
Yes.
And let's read what she says.
Okay, let's.
100 times you pressed play times 7,000 subscribers, which we're almost up to, is 700,000. 'Cause math.
True.
My current wine obsession is chocolate wine. I had never heard
They're like
of
mixing
this.
chocolate with everything nowadays.
They are not all created equal, though, so specifically Choco Vine.
Correct.
There's a heart on the label, she tells me. Finest blend of red wine and Dutch dark chocolate imported product of Holland. Sinful, she says. Well, you know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for Choco Vine.
I wonder if they might have it down at that place in Kentucky. It's over the bridge. Party.
Well, I don't want to go that far. I'll look at closer places before I head over to the place in northern Kentucky.
What's that place called? Party Source?
Party.
It's not Party City. They don't sell wine at Party City, Pam.
No.
It's
Party Source. Yeah, Party Source.
Yep.
Over in
Newport,
right. So thank you, Karen Maddox. Thank you for the Choco Vine recommendation.
I know.
And thank you for doing the math.
And
that was wonderful.
It's from Holland, which is amazing.
I know. So you can see why that's Pam's pinned comment this week.
Yay.
Okay. We want to also mention something kind of funny that happened. Actually,
we'll show cross stitch eventually.
Yeah. Well, Steph got a text from Jen, Spooner Rooney Stitcher on Instagram, and asked Steph if we had watched the last video put up by Caroline at Off the Grid. Well, we hadn't because we're,
busy.
We're busy and
we had planned on it, but
we hadn't gotten to Caroline at that point. So,
I said, no, why?
And she said, pull it up and at least watch the first 10 minutes of it. So, of course, we did.
Okay, is it good or bad?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's good. And I was like,
so
okay.
we pulled it up and we watched it together. And Caroline, many of you watch Caroline.
Yes.
Mentioned that she had been contacted by another Canadian lady who wanted to do a meetup at Gita's, which I think is in Toronto, but it's in Canada for sure. It's a needlework shop. It's been around forever. But the other woman was kind of...
You're not telling this story correctly.
Okay. Go.
So how it started is because she bought an Evertote bag from Caroline.
Oh, is that how it started?
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Okay, yeah. And so then she saw that she was a Canadian customer.
Okay.
And she was like, then they started chatting, and now continue.
Oh, okay. So it started with the purchase of an Evertote, Evertote bag, which Caroline makes.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, once the conversation got going about maybe doing a meetup between the two of them in Toronto, if Caroline would drive, because I have not been to Toronto ever, but apparently the traffic is a little bit nuts. So they were getting ready to set that up, and Caroline decided to look up a little bit more about this gal on Instagram. Well, if you go to this gal's Instagram profile, you know that it has a website on it. And the website is www.crashtestdummies.com.
Okay, pause. So before she noticed the URL, she was looking through other photos on her feed.
Right.
And she saw a photo that the woman had posted.
Right.
And of her stitching, watching us.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then Caroline just clicked on it or whatever because she watches us too.
Oh, that's right.
And then she realized that what her name was. And then she was like, there's no way that she's that person.
But.
So then the person who she was looking, the profiles page she was looking at was Ellen. Ellen is the talent behind the Pam and Steph montage from our 2-year FlossTube anniversary video.
All those clips put together?
Yeah.
Me saying holy moly a million times?
Right. Exactly. Yep. Fun thing after fun thing after fun thing. And so then Caroline was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing and awesome. And then she found the URL.
Okay, so www.crashtestdummies.com.
And she's like, oh cool, Ellen's in a band.
I'm not current on things, so...
on things in general.
It didn't mean anything to me. And even though I had started following Ellen based on her tribute video that she made of us.
Right.
Thank you again, Ellen. It's amazing.
You, Ellen, don't worry.
It's amazing. It turns out Caroline knew and is freaking out because Crash Test Dummies is a very big rock band in Canada.
Yeah.
Consisting of 3 guys and a girl, Ellen being the girl.
Yeah.
So
Ellen's a legitimate rock star.
I think she plays an acoustic accordion. I don't know whether she...
I hope you play an acoustic accordion.
I don't know whether she sings too or not.
I think, yeah, she does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
They're pretty big in Canada.
They're totally big, eh?
And then Ellen commented, so then we had this dialogue going in the comments on Caroline's video because Ellen said pretty much to us, we're playing Cincinnati in September and I'll give you 2 tickets or I'll make sure you get 2 tickets, right? Well, September, ding, 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 ding. Yeah. It starts being retreat and event season for us. And unfortunately, we are going to be at Galleria that same weekend.
Right.
But it could happen again.
Yes.
But small world.
How banana pants is that?
Is that not crazy?
Crazy.
So I wanted to tell you about that.
Yes.
And just celebrate this community.
Right. That's crazy.
She has a lot of posts on her Instagram about their gigs and so forth.
Yeah.
But more or less directed at her music audience. She said in more than one post, you guys got to understand I'm really into cross stitch.
Oh, really?
So isn't that super cool? So
cool.
Anyway, I wanted to mention that because we got so much reaction to our 200th from our 2-year.
I was going to say, don't push it, Pam.
Yeah, 2-year FlossTube anniversary.
Yep.
And the great clip video that Ellen made. So
yeah, for sure.
Thanks again.
Thank
and only through cross stitch and only through FlossTube would this ever happen.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
All right. So let's talk about.
Let's show cross stitch.
Let's
35
show
minutes
cross stitch.
Holy hell.
35 minds in. Holy moly. See,
right.
there you go.
So, yep, there's another one for you, Ellen. Holy moly. Okay. So, I had made it my mission after I finished Easter Parade to free up some Mania slots.
Right.
Let's put it that way. And so, mostly because I had a good handful of them that were very close to being done. And I was like, let's just check them off. I was like, I don't really, like, there are some projects on my Mania list that I know I'll be working on for years, but there are some that I'm like, I can get that done. I don't want to see it in year 3. So, one of those projects is Boo Tree, from Primitive Hair. So this is a project that I started for Stitch Mania in 2018. And then I worked on it again for Stitch Mania 2019. I also had worked on it intermittently throughout the year of between manias. And I was pretty close to being done. So I was like, let's just pull it out and work on it till it's done. I will probably finish this. I know I've said this 700 times before and it never happens, but something tells me that I will probably finish this tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, undoubtedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm. So
you might take that needle minder off. I think it's distracting from the design.
Well, let me just take it off then real quick. Pardon me.
It's just my humble opinion.
No, I appreciate it so much. And I'm stitching mine on 32 count Jobelin in the colorway Queen Anne's Lace.
Yep. Beautiful fabric, by the way.
And that is what it looks like. So, yesterday when I picked it up, I did all the word boo yesterday.
Yep.
And then I came down and I did that leaf. Thank you. And then, because see the words are striped. Go down. See, they're striped, so they're like kind of putsy. And then I did that leaf, and I did the bodies of the spiders here. And then the rest of it I did today. So, well, not the rest of it, but I did this guy today and did the back stitch of the spiders. So, literally all I have left is there's a piece of candy corn down here, and then see how there's individual black stitches kind of all over? They're all over that, and then I'm done.
Yeah. So
she'll
be posting that later on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I love it.
And that's a Mania slot. So
it is a Mania slot.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, it is, and I'm pumped about it.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So that was a big black boot, people. Mm-hmm. Just saying. So that is what I worked on. That is not what I worked on for 24 hours of cross stitch, but that will be in the finishes section.
Oh, there's a hint. So, like I said, I worked on Halloween and Hawk Run Hollow, and like I said during 24 hours of cross stitch take 2, one thing this makes you feel like a slow stitcher, because those hours just tick off. I mean, I was posting to the group that Jen set up on Facebook, and it just seemed like set the alarm for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it just, it just seemed like,
it flew by.
Anyway, it just seemed like that's all I did in a whole hour. Now, while I was at the shop, that's understandable because I was talking.
Right.
And listening and so forth and eating. So, anyway, first of all, this is where I am.
Here, I got this side.
With Halloween and Hawk Run. What I started to do during 24 hours of cross stitch was the green fill-in around the letters of block 3. So it says, in the shade of the yew tree, and I'd already put the yellow in.
Mm-hmm.
So what I started with at 4 o'clock on Friday at the shop was the green fill-in around those letters. And then also during 24 hours of cross stitch, I did the border toward block 4 and a little bit of the bottom border, just enough to do this little rooftop thing. It's not a whole house.
Oh, that's
because
just the
most
top
of the
roof.
block is a sky full of bats.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really showing it well, but so I got into block 4, and I love the colors in this. This is just awesome.
Yep.
I'm stitching this on
32 count.
32 count autumn from Under the Sea Fabrics.
Yep.
And so I don't know if I would have felt like because I'm only on Betsy Ross on Early Americans, I don't know whether I would have felt that I had made as much progress in the 23 hours I did on Early Americans versus this, but it ended up being ideal because with all that fill-in, that was great to work on at the shop when I'm, constantly distracted. And it didn't take long to get to the bottom after we got home, and then mostly in the wee hours of Saturday, I worked on the house.
That's in the belfry.
Yeah, on the house part of block 4. So
I mean, that's a lot though, Pam.
But so a good event. I kind of feel like maybe because I'm so discombobulated with schedule and so forth,
right.
I can't guarantee I'll do it again.
Yeah.
To be honest, but it is fun. And
well, I don't know. I think because if you're not familiar, then this go around she did it or they had it set up so it was 24 hours in 48.
Right.
So at the end of the day, between 4 p.m. Friday and 4 p.m. on Sunday, I stitched for a total of 26 hours.
Yeah. So I guess maybe my next strategy would be to break it up, and not deprive myself of those
sleep and food and
all that
sanity.
Junk. So live and learn, right?
Right.
So that is one of my whips.
Yep.
And you had down here something you thought was a whip, but,
but it was a finish.
It's going to be a finish now.
Fantastic.
So let's talk about finishes.
Okay.
Stephanie's got a big one.
Wait, you can go first.
Really?
Yeah. Mine's big. Mine's big. So
Okay,
we're going to make them wait.
Okay. This seems like forever ago.
I know. It
that's
feels
the
like
24 hours of cross stitch just yet. It
feels
makes
like
it seem
so
like
long ago.
things happened a long time ago. Because I don't even know what day I finished this.
It was either Monday or Tuesday.
Pardon me. Early in the week. This is Turkey Bay from Plum Street Samplers. And
that's a Mania spot too.
And that's a Mania spot too that I freed up. So I finally did finish.
And that was
I really didn't have too much left to do. I had to do some of the leaves and flowers on both sides and then do the awesome border. So Turkey Bay, I just love this.
I'm obsessed with this.
I don't know what I will do in terms of finishing at this point, but I love the colors in this. I have been in love with this before I started stitching it, during the stitching of it, and after. I just love this design. This was one of my favorite stitches of all time, and I've been stitching
really
it
of all time.
Yeah, I love this thing
of all time.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah,
good job, Paulette.
Until I pick up another Plum Street, because she is slowly becoming one of my top tier favorite designers. Wow. Absolutely. I mean, Heritage Sampler, right?
Yeah, right.
So
for show.
So that was
oh my gosh, it's so
that was one of my finishes.
Yes, ring the bell, Pam. Good job.
And then after I finished as much as I wanted to do on Halloween a Hawk Run, I decided that for a little bit of last night and then this morning, I would pull up what I've been working on off of my Get Her Done wheel. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of old. This was...
Your things over there don't... It's on the chair. Okay.
This was 2004 kit. And it's called Nantucket Sewing Basket. And what you got, it's from Lori Birmingham, one of my favorite designers of old. You got the Nantucket style basket. Mm. You got the fabric with 28 count. You got DMC, needle and instructions.
Yep.
And
you didn't get the cording and batting and all that, but you got everything else.
So this is the basket that came with it. I actually did get the basket.
Of course you did.
These are traditional to Nantucket in Massachusetts. And
is it supposed to be a whale's tooth?
It's supposed to be.
It's not,
it's not ivory.
Don't freak out. It's not a real...
The ones that they actually sell, the authentic Nantucket baskets, I think might be.
Oh.
So it opens up like that. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a fishing creel, if you will. And
word usage.
And then you kind of
and then it hooks together like that.
Yeah. So that ivory little peg thing was originally made out of whalebone.
Right.
Yeah. And this is a lot of backstitching, people, but I finished it. So we go from really big to a little bit smaller to really small. So this is the design that goes mounted on the top of said basket.
Correct.
And that's what it looks like. And I finished the backstitching this morning, so it is now a finish.
You're a champion.
And I remember I worked on this, the actual cross stitches I worked on
last 24, right?
Last 24 hours of cross stitch because Linda Jo made the snarky comment about me stitching gingham. Well, the gingham was the cloth inside this basket. So anyway, that's finished, and that'll be all put together by the ladies at Keepsakes.
Right.
In some manner, shape, or form.
Right.
So, there you go.
Congratulations, Pam.
Yeah.
All right. So my finish is another Mania project from 2018 and then 2019. And it was one that I was super close on, and I was like, I'm just going to get it done. And it is from the June 2016 issue 242 of the World of Cross Stitching magazine. That's what it looks like. The cover, I mean. I did not stitch this. However, now the pattern is available as a PDF download from the Stitchrovia Etsy shop, which I will link below. So there are a ton. There's like 3 or 4 really cute patterns in here.
That's
that I
a good
do.
issue. Yeah.
And so the chart that I did out of the magazine is called Single Step by Emma Congdon of Stitchrovia. And I finished this at 6 a.m. yesterday morning. So.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
So, all I had left to do after Mania, okay, so I worked on this kind of all week. So all this stuff up here was all done already. And so...
It's called a single step.
Yep, I said that, yeah.
Oh.
And then, so after Mania, I picked it up here, and I finished the back stitching inside the ticket. And if you can't, I don't know how well you can read the back stitching inside the ticket, but it says travel ticket. And then single is obviously more prominent. And then I don't even remember why I did this, but I had come down and done the S in step. Whatever.
Just wanted a different color
for
a while.
So I finished the ticket on Monday night while watching The Bachelorette. And then I finished Step on Wednesday. And then I started chipping away at the mountain on Thursday. And this all down in here is very putsy because it's like 2 stitches in this shade of green, 3 stitches in this shade of green, and burn. And then there's like the little singular stitches of flowers. Yeah, you can see those right there. And then there's like little stitches of back stitch. It's just like really putsy. So at 6 a.m. when I'm like just one more stitch.
Right.
So, but yeah, so
it's lovely. Hold it up all together now. Yeah, there you go.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yep. Beautiful.
So I love this. This will be going with Easter Parade and 6 Fat Men to Omaha, Nebraska, to be framed by the lovely and talented Julie McConnell. So I'm really pumped to see what she does with this, because you can go so many ways with this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you could get like a wooden frame.
I think I would think wooden.
But I could also get a hot pink frame.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that would kind of
yeah, I think it would
detract.
I think it would too.
Yeah.
So
something more neutral.
Julie is a genius, so
yeah.
Aren't you, Julie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no doubt that it will be incredible. And yeah, so
right.
There's that.
Happy finishes, everyone. All right,
let's talk about some promotions, shall we? Number 1, Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club, which is distributed through Crazy Annie Stitchin. 3 videos now ago, we showed the May colors, so we're anxiously awaiting the June colors to come in the mail. If you are interested in checking out the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club, the link is in the description box below. You can get, they have 3 different colorways. There's the bright colors, the primitive colors, or all colors, and you can get either 3 skeins or 5 skeins of each. So you can get as little as 3 skeins of one color or 5 skeins of 3, and then there you go. Yeah. So you can build your Color and Cotton stash. If you are not familiar with stitching with them, maybe just get 1 to start and then build it up after that.
Right.
But they're amazing threads. They're DMC-based threads, and they're beautiful.
Yes.
So I recommend checking it out. You can find all the pricing information and stuff like that through the link in the description box below.
Right.
And number 2 is the SewMuch2Luv Project Bag of the Month Club. We are now into month 6, June, so I'm super pumped to see what June's bag is. Like, I feel like the second half of the month has more like holidays that like you can. I mean, I'm excited for like a summer bags. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I just like project bags. If you're new to this channel, you'll learn that very quickly. So we're excited about that, and it is a beautiful handcrafted bag made by the lovely and talented Karen Torres of SewMuch2Luv Project Bags. She also has an Etsy shop, and you can click the link in the description box below to sign up for her Bag of the Month Club. Not only do you get a bag, but you also get a copious amount of treats inside, a lovely letter written by Karen, and it's just awesome to have a beautiful project bag surprise at your door every month.
Right.
And then last but most certainly not least, is the lovely girls of Twin Peak Primitives over in the Netherlands. And so we have a couple things with them that we talk about each week. The first is the pattern of the week. So what we do is we go through their catalog, pick a chart that we love, that we think
like this one,
that we think that you would love too.
You're gonna like this one.
Yeah, probably. And so then we say to them, how about this one? And they say, great. And then it's 15% off for all of our viewers. So how do you get the chart? You get the chart through their Etsy shop or through their website, twinpeakprimitives.com. And you just tell them that you heard about it through us, and you'll get the 15% discount. If you'd rather have a hard copy, that is totally fine. But you can only get it discounted through Beach Cottage Stitchers, linked below.
Right.
Same deal. Tell them you heard about it through us to get your 15% off. Okay, so this week's chart is called what, Pam?
It's called 239 Arch Street. That seems like a funny title. 239 Arch Street was Betsy Ross's address in Philadelphia. So it is a patriotic design because we're heading toward the 4th of July.
Yeah, we are.
And the flag on this, I just love it. So it's 239 Arch Street. That's our promotional chart of the week, 15% off for the week. Hop on over and get your 239 Arch Street and start stitching patriotic. And we're going to insert a picture of this lovely design here. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it is.
This is a good one.
America.
Not that they aren't all good, but this is especially good.
Yes. And then the other thing that we want to discuss with you is the wonderful, amazing opportunity to win a trip to the Netherlands that is all expenses paid, airfare, hotel, food, all the things paid for by the twins of Twin Peak Primitives. And not only do you get to go to Holland for free
with us,
but you get to go with us.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a wonderful week full of cross-stitch and traveling throughout the Netherlands. We're also going to go to Belgium and all the things.
Right.
So how do you get in on this wonderful thing? Well, all you have to do is make a purchase only. You don't have to stitch anything. Just a purchase only. A chart that they have designed called Tracking the Seasons. And you can purchase that chart through any of the other of the ways that we talked about. You can get the pattern of the week through the their Etsy shop, their website, or you can get Tracking the Seasons through Beach Cottage Stitchers if you rather have a hard copy too.
Right.
If you decide, and then so if you purchase it through either of those three options, then your name is automatically put on the list to win. However, if you purchase Tracking the Seasons through anybody else, whether it's your local needlework shop or another online source or what have you, then they have no way of knowing that you bought that. Right. So if you want to be entered into the giveaway and you bought your chart somewhere else, that's totally fine. But you need to post a photo of the chart using the hashtag DutchMania, and that's mania with a Y. Every so often they search that hashtag on both Instagram and Facebook, and they put the names on the list. If you post it on Facebook, it needs to be on the Twin Peak Primitives Facebook page, which is linked below as well. Everything is linked below.
Did you talk about the hashtag Dutch Mania?
I did, Mania with a Y.
Sorry, I wasn't
paying attention.
Fully engaged.
I know you were. It's okay. Don't worry. I got it. And
did we show the design last week?
We showed it last week.
Okay, so if you want to look at the design, go back and fast forward through last week's video and you'll see it. We usually show the design every other week.
Yes. So we'll show it next.
So, that brings us to mail call.
Okay, people. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. First we got this lovely, lovely card.
Yes. From our friend Becca.
Isn't that cat cute?
Yep.
Becca, we've talked about her before here because she came to Keepsakes to visit.
Yep.
And we met her, and then she's coming to StitchCon.
Right.
And she recently, I mean, not like yesterday, but maybe a couple weeks ago, or a month ago.
Yeah, I think
maybe
she's made 3 or 4. I think she's up to 4.
Started a FlossTube channel. And the FlossTube channel is called My Stitchy Home. So go check her out if you have not already.
She's also a beautiful quilter. So if you're interested in both things, you'll really like Becca's channel.
Yes. So thank you for it was a thank you card. She won one of our giveaways.
Yeah.
And so it was a thank you card for that. So, and then we are so looking forward to seeing you soon.
Right.
And this is all haul.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a package from a very old friend.
Have we told this story yet?
I don't think so. A lady in Maine picked up a copy of, what's the name of the?
Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine.
Punch Needle and Primitive
Stitcher
magazine.
The spring edition.
The spring edition, which included the article on our LNS Keepsakes. Yep. And because they have very limited resources to buy cross-stitch supplies, she called Stephanie and asked for a few things that Keepsakes might have or to order, right?
Yep.
And so Stephanie very kindly took care of that, and also asked
when we were on the phone.
Right.
We started talking about FlossTube.
Right.
Because she was like, I don't have anyone to stitch with, and because when the phone rings at the shop, it comes up with the number and then the city state.
Yeah.
So I saw that it was like Portland, Maine.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, Maine
area code.
And so I was like excited, right? And so we're chatting, and she's telling me about her stitching and all the things. She's like, yeah, we don't have an LNS. I was like, I know, it's sad. And then she's like, I don't have anybody to stitch with. And I was like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, there's so many people that I know that live up there that stitch, but
right.
And so I said, do you watch FlossTube? And she didn't know what I was talking about. I think she thought I was trying to sell her something, because she was like, oh no, I have everything. And I was like, oh, you don't have to pay for it. Let me tell you about FlossTube.
Right.
So I said to her, listen, I'm going to send you a list of all the New England FlossTubers that I know of.
Right.
And especially the ones that are in Maine. Right. And where they're located, if I know that information.
Right.
So I went home that night, and I put something together for her, and I wrote her this long letter, and I was like, I really hope that you enjoy it. Here's your basic instructions on how to... She even
brought the letter home to me and said, how does this sound?
Right.
And the woman's name was Cindy. Mm-hmm. And, and I said, of course, it's beautifully written. You're a lovely writer, and off it goes.
Right. So I mailed it to her, and we have, if you've ever gotten mail from either one of us before, then you know that we have return address labels that say, Just Keep Stitchin', Pam and Steph, here's our address, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I put it on a package, sent it off to Maine.
Right.
And
about a week later, probably.
Yeah, probably about a week later, I was at work, and I get a phone call, and Lenny, my coworker, answers the phone, and then she goes, it's for you. She asked directly for you, and I was like, okay. So I pick up the phone. Hi, Stephanie, it's Cindy. And I was like, Cindy! And so I was like, did you get my package? Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, thank you so much. You're so sweet, and all the things. And she was like, she had another thing she wanted to order from the shop, which I took the order. And then I was like, well, it's been so nice talking to you. And she lives in a town that was right next door to the town that my grandparents grew up in. So all the things. Her husband went to the same colleges. It was fine. So then right before I said, well, it's so good talking to you, Cindy. And she was like, well, before I let you go, I have a very strange question. And I go, strange questions are my favorite. What is it? And she said, so I got your package, and on the return label, it had both you and your mother's name on it. And I said, huh? And she was like, because you're Steph, so Pam's your mom, right? And I said, mm-hmm. And she goes, does your mom have her master's degree in library science? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh, I was your mother's children's librarian when she worked at the Gorham Public Library in
1978 to 80.
There you go. And I go, holy guacamole, Cindy. And then she said, and then it clicked to me. I was like, my parents weren't married back by then. So I was like, so how did you put two and two together? And she was like, I don't know, just the story you were telling me on the last time we talked. And then she was like, and then I saw Schaffner, and I was like, but she wasn't married then. And she was like, yeah, because she left her job 2 weeks before she got married to Captain Schaffner, which is my dad. And I was like, well, yeah, so she did. Wild.
Okay. So after that freaky conversation.
Crazy.
I'm at home during this time.
Obviously.
And Stephanie hangs up from talking to Cindy. And she calls me at home. And she said, are you sitting down? Well, of course I'm sitting down. That's what
Obviously.
I do best.
Right.
And she said, I need to take you back a few years to when you worked at the Baxter Memorial Library in Gorham, Maine.
Right.
And I went, okay.
Whatever.
And she said, what was the name of your children's librarian? Now, this was my first professional library job. I was the town librarian in Gorham. So she said, what was your children's librarian's name? And I said, well, I actually had two, which is true. Mm-hmm. And I said, I can't remember the second one, but I know that the first one, because I ended up hiring a second one. We had a pretty big children's program. But the first one was Cindy Verrill. why? And then she proceeds
I was like,
to
remember
tell
that
me.
story? Remember that time I sent the package to a woman in Maine named Cindy? And she was like, what?
We were even at the post office together mailing out
Yeah, we were.
that first batch of stuff for Cindy. And I'm sure I saw the name and the town. Didn't register at all.
Nope.
So Cindy had told Stephanie at the shop, she said, tell your mother that, this is my phone number, and that to make sure that she has a chair underneath her because
she's going to be
she's going to be so shocked.
Right.
And
Which
of course,
I
was. She came home from the shop that day and she
like,
said,
my head is still spinning.
Here's the number. So fast forward, Cindy and I did have a lovely conversation.
Yes.
And this, again, here we go. It's because of cross stitch.
Wild.
Or what?
Wild.
I was married in 1980. And yes, she's right. I terminated my employment there because Stephanie's dad was in the Air Force. He was a captain. And we were headed to California to his next assignment immediately after getting married in 1980.
Right.
This is 2019.
Yeah.
I said to Cindy over the telephone, I said, we're talking 39 years.
Yeah.
39 years since we have conversed, since we have talked.
Crazy.
And I asked her, I said, I have to ask you, because I didn't start stitching until I was pregnant with Stephanie in the 80s.
Yeah, you weren't stitching back then.
I said, were you stitching when you worked for me at the library? And maybe I didn't appreciate it or take an interest in it back then. And she said no. She wasn't then, but probably about 6 to 10 years later, she got interested in stitching. But
fascinating.
Weird, huh? So we've kept in touch.
Yeah.
And I got a piece of mail from Cindy this past week.
Right.
She sent me a by the bay chart called Santa Tending the Sheep. And she sent a note in it where she mentions that it's, of course, Donna Bayless, we know, by the bay. And she said, Donna's a lovely lady. So Cindy's met Donna Bayless. Isn't that cool? And I love this chart. I love it.
Yes.
And along with it, she sent an issue of the Gorham Times, which I will pour over and see what it's the Memorial Weekend issue,
right?
And see what's been happening in Gorham in 39 years since I left. So that is my mail call from a very old friend. So
isn't that so cool? I just think it's so cool.
It's just the craziest thing.
So okay, that's a lovely story, isn't it? You just never know, do you? So the next thing is kind of a little bit mail call, a little bit haul.
Okay.
So all the Mainers. Okay.
Yeah.
So I really love the state of Maine. I just want everyone to know that. I mean, we love Ohio too, but
yeah.
So okay. So there is a woman that I follow on Instagram who stitches. Her name is Teresa. Right? I think so.
Oh dear.
I think so.
You're asking me? Hold on. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Teresa.
It was right.
Yes.
Okay. And she has an Etsy shop, which I will link below for you because you're going to want to go check it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I saw that she lived in Maine.
Yep.
And I was like, that's amazing because I love Mainers. Duh. But not only did she live in Maine, but she lived in central Maine, close to Bangor. Her shop on Etsy is called Quilting Grimalkin. Right. And so I had favorited her Etsy shop a long time ago. And at the time, because I was like, I really want to buy a bag from her because I have a project bag problem. And she's a Mainer.
Right.
But for whatever reason, the bags that were in her shop just weren't appealing to me. Like the fabrics in and of itself. Like they had bees on them. I'm not really a bee person.
Everything doesn't appeal to everybody.
Right. Yeah. But I was like, I kept checking back because I was like, I want to buy a bag from her. Anyway, So I happened to check maybe a month ago at this point, and I was like, love this bag, add to cart, buy it now.
Right.
Done.
Right.
Okay. So I did. And then about 2 weeks later, I also followed her on Instagram, and I saw that she posted some project bags made of fabric that were literally calling my name.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to buy that now. So I ran over to her Etsy shop, and I bought that one now. And the other bag I hadn't even gotten a shipping notice for yet, and which is fine.
So 2 separate times.
2 separate purchases.
Right.
So I sent Teresa an Etsy conversation, and I said, hey, I made a purchase a couple weeks ago. I'm not here to complain that I haven't gotten it yet. I'm not one of those people. But I just bought a second one. If you haven't packaged them up yet, feel free to send them together. That's totally fine.
Right.
If not, if you've already packaged up the other one, don't worry about it.
Right.
So I get a message back from Teresa, and she was like, oh my gosh, you are the fastest purchaser on Etsy I've ever seen ever. And I was like, what? And she said that the fabric that the second project bag is made out of was actually going to be a gift for me. But I bought it so damn fast that she was like, I don't know what to do. So she said that would either refund me the second purchase, or she had a second bag that she was like, I'll send you that too. I said, just send me the second bag. It's fine. So that package came this week. So, lovely, amazing Teresa. Thank you so much. She sent these Lighthouses of Maine cards. One for me, one for Pam. And first I'll show you the bag she sent, and then I'll tell you what she's doing for you. Okay. So this is the first bag that I had originally purchased. I don't recall what the name of the bag was, but this is the front of it. So they're vinyl front project bags. This is a Christmassy one with little bells. Look at that fabric. So Mrs. Claus, Cupid, Dancy, Donnie. They're just so cute. I love teal and red for Christmas. I think, or aqua, I should say. Aqua and teal. Aqua and red. It's like really well made.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not a seamstress.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let's check out your konos. This sharp, girl. This sharp konos. Okay. So that's the first bag that I bought. And then, this is the one that I saw that I was like, I could not buy this fast enough. So, this is the front of it. If you're wondering what those are tornadoes. Mm-hmm. And then that is a little Tin Man charm. Because this is the back of the fabric. It's so freaking cute! Look at those little freaking characters. I can't even handle my life. Tin Man with its heart. And with the poppies. Mm-hmm. So cute. But I die over the tornadoes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Amazing.
And so Teresa had said in regards to that bag that she was like, I was waiting for that Wizard of Oz fabric to get here so I could make you a bag and send it to you. So then this is the bag that she gifted me. Red interior. Little slipper charm. Ruby slippers, baby. I love it so much. So nice. I think I'm going to put Little Riding Hood in here. Because it's red and black.
Yep.
Yeah, so, they're amazing. Not only did she send a bag gift for me as well, but she sent one for Pam. So, show your bag, Pam.
Yeah. Nice note from Teresa. Love these cards. And this is the one she sent me. This is the interior fabric, and it's words, and it says things like, discover new things, my heart belongs to the sea, Seize the Day, SEAS, Wish Upon a Star, and then look at this.
Look at those whales.
So this one has a dolphin
Charm.
pull
Yeah,
on the zipper. I also had to laugh because this kind of reminds me of that
Of the
Ukrainian,
whale from last week.
The whale, Ukrainian. We're not gonna say
what.
the title.
Nope.
But it sort of kind of looks like the same kind of style of whale.
I said she needs to kit that whale up and put that in there.
Yeah, so I probably will, of course.
So
Teresa, thank you. I mean, what a lovely selection of bags. I mean, they're just
amazing.
They're just lovely.
And so in her lovely note, she said two things that I want to tell you. One is that I was pronouncing her name totally wrong before. I thought forever that it was Quilting Grimlikin, and it's not. It's Quilting Grimalkin.
Right.
And that Grimalkin is an old term for a cat, and it's the name of the cat in Macbeth.
There you go. A literary reference,
Fun
if you
facts.
will.
Yes. And that Teresa is also a cat lady. And then on top of everything else, she has provided a 10% off coupon code for all of our viewers.
For how long?
It does not say.
Oh.
So it says I added a 10% off coupon to my shop if you're willing to share with your watchers.
So there you go.
Yep.
There's an add-on promotional item for you, people.
Right. So
these are nice bags.
They're really nice. If you're a vinyl front, and the price without the 10% discount is really good.
Yeah, so you're going to get a bargain basement bag, and they're beautifully made.
Beautiful.
So let's support Teresa at Quilting Grimalkin.
Yes, and the coupon code that you are going to need.
Oh, yeah.
In all caps, all one word, just keep stitching. There is a G on the end of the coupon code. So, just keep stitching. That coupon code and all the information in the link to her Etsy shop is in the box below.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Teresa. We love the bags.
Right.
All right, the rest is haul.
Yeah, and I just had something that Stephanie brought home to me from the shop.
We placed our pre-StitchCon Just Other Button Company order.
Yeah. So she got these for me, and they're marking pins or ornamental pins, and I love the Canadian flag on there. So isn't
Hilarious.
that super cute
and amazing?
Yeah.
They also have ones with American flags in it too.
Well, I actually have that. I have both the moose biscornu pattern, and
you could
I
base
also
your colors on for the moose biscornu off of that.
I could. So that's an idea. Or I might look up and see if I have a Jeanette Douglas a biscornu to make and use these pins to
that's
accentuate them.
Idea.
So that's the extent of my haul.
And we're going to be here for a minute with mine. Okay, so we've just been placing a lot of orders at Keepsakes because StitchCon. So that's why there's a lot. Not a mountain, but more than I've had in the past. So Barbara and I saw at National Needlework Market in March, the next series that Amy Brukin was going to come out with. And it is freaking adorable. So the series is called Lucky 13. If you're not familiar with her stitch-alongs, it's not a mystery. She shows you what the whole thing is going to look like.
Right.
And then you get 2 charts every other month. And then the first chart is kind of like not outline, but like the words. And then you get the little characters that go. You'll see what I mean when I show you. So this one is called Lucky 13. And the words say, home is where you hang your broom, just a wee bit wicked every day. And I promise that the stitched model is freaking cute. And so it just started. This is what the whole thing will look like when it's all done. And so the first and second parts came to the shop last week. And we had a big poster with this on it and had people sign up. And so we got quite a bit of people that were interested in it. And so, including myself. So this is part 1.
So you're going to stitch that?
Well, one of us will stitch it.
Yeah, one of us will.
Yeah. So I knew that one of us will like it. And so Lucky 13, stitch along. And so it starts up here. So part number 2 is the witch who's fallen in her cauldron.
Yeah, love it.
Freaking cute is that?
It's adorable. I saw somebody at Nashville Needlework Market. I don't know whether it was Ruthie or Laura or one of those other ladies at the opposite end of the table from Sharon and I doing the snowmen, I think.
The Santas?
Right.
But she had snowmen too, but
I don't remember there was a snowman or the Santas, and in person these things are flippin' adorable.
Adorable.
Oh my god, they are so cute.
So cute.
So when this Halloween one came out, I was like, yes, we need to have that in our stash.
Yes. And the next one, I actually was inspired to purchase this from Jill. Hi, Jill. Swanky Sim.
Yep.
On Instagram. She lives just up the road here in towards Dayton. And I would never have stitched this if I had not seen her stitched model of it at StitchCon last year. Because the photography is terrible.
Yeah.
And I have no qualms about saying that. Because people just I don't know what it takes to up your game and your photography of your charts.
Yeah.
But do it. You'd sell more charts. I'm just saying. So this is from Not Forgotten Farm. And this one's called Salem Village.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the picture of it.
Right. It doesn't look that exciting, does
Nope,
it?
Doesn't. But it's freaking beautiful.
But when Jill brought it over to StitchCon, it's amazing.
And it says 1692, keep these in your memory, Salem Village.
Yep.
It's just really cool.
Yep.
But
I mean, if you're a big Not Forgotten Farm fan, then you know that it's probably going to look better in person and you're going to buy it anyway. But
right. But
for
if you're
somebody
not,
that's interested in Salem stuff.
Yeah. So it's beautiful. Buy it. I promise it's pretty.
Right.
The next is another series that the next parts were released. The first 3 parts were released at Nashville Needlework Market. And then the second 3 just came out and were sent to the shop. And this is the Scary Apothecary series. So I'm on the list for that. So the 4, 5, and 6 came out. So number 4 is Cackle Lozenges. Hilarious.
Adorable.
Hilarious. Where's the chronic in this one? Oh, up at the top. Up here. And it says Cackle Lozenges. Shriek well. There you go.
That's cute.
And then this, the next one is Coffin Paint After Lifetime Warranty.
That's cute too.
And I love this, like, so I don't know if you can tell, but in here it's a satin stitch. And these are all satin for the paint brushes.
Yeah, she's painting the coffins red.
No, green.
Green? Isn't that the coffin down there?
I don't know.
And the paintbrushes have red paint on them?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Kathy, what color is it supposed to be?
The coffin's red, Kathy. Nod yes.
Yes, nod your head yes, Kathy. And then the last, not the last one in the whole series, but the last one in this one, yes, is Cauldron Cleaner with enhanced spell check. Hilarious.
I'm telling you what.
And what is that orange? Pumpkin Harvest, Classic Colorworks.
Yep, adorable.
So good. What is that color? River Rocks. Oh my gosh, amazing. Look at those cats.
Yeah.
So cute. Love it so much.
Beautiful.
Yes. So those I'm freaking pumped about it. I'm going to wait until I get all of them before I start them. Another series that I can't help myself. This is the Halloween miniseries from Needlebling Designs.
Needlebling.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
So these both say
what?
3 of 7.
Okay.
But anyway, so this is a series that started being released at Nashville Needlework Market too. This is called Scary Spiders. the series is called Halloween Miniseries. So there are like little pin cushions, pin pillows. You could do them all together if you really wanted to. But this is called Scary Spiders. And then this one, I freaking am dying
Yeah,
over.
this is adorable.
Sophie's Trick or Treat.
Yeah, look at this cat. Isn't that great?
Or look at that freaking cat.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. And it's stitched on that Week Stylework chartreuse, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I love.
Adorable.
Yes. Okay. Then all of this stuff I bought at Keepsakes. And then this last one I saw, I think that this was from Carol. Little Miss Saltbox.
Oh, okay.
She stitched this. Again, I would not have stitched this had I not seen Carol's. And this is another Not Forgotten Farm called Tis Spring. Mm. And it's just really pretty in real life. Mm-hmm. Pictures not so much, but in real life. Right. I just like that big blue dress. Mm-hmm. And then my last piece of haul, I promise I'm done after this, is I was perusing Etsy and I saw that Satsuma Street was having a free shipping sale. So there were some items that I really wanted to purchase, so I did. So I got 3 items, and this is what they are. The first one is Sweet Spring. We had a local stitcher stitch this. She did everything, like she didn't do the bottom row. But I don't think... Katie, did you do the top butterfly too? I don't know. But anyway, super cute. I'm going to do it in its entirety because those radishes are really cute.
I was just going to say, yeah.
I like those. So this is Sweet Spring from Satsuma Street. And the next one, I've been eyeballing this forever. This is Alpine. I just love those blocks of color. Like, I think they're freaking awesome. It's a lot of white, but I like white. So, like, look at that. Dying. Mm-hmm. And then the last one, I will probably wait, and this might be my New Year, New Start next year.
Hey, what an idea is that?
And to commemorate my trip in December, our trip in December, this is Pretty Little Amsterdam. Which, if you're not familiar, is in Holland.
In the Netherlands.
And if you don't remember, we're going to the Netherlands in December.
That's right.
So, yeah, I love this. I'm really excited about this. So, I think that that's a great idea to do that as a New Year, New Start.
Yep.
So, yes. So, I don't know how long the free shipping sale was going on, but her charts are really reasonably priced, and you can always get them as PDF downloads. I'm just a hard copy chart kind of girl, and so check them out, see what you want to do about that.
Okay, so that's our haul.
That's all of it.
Let's give something away, shall we?
Okay, let's do it. So last week the charts that we had decided to give away was a Pass the Stash from Pam, and which was the Let's Do Wine from Ursula Michael for Imaginating.
And the leftover floss.
And the leftover floss, which is inside. And then we added on this Wine a Bit chart from Lizzie Kate. And just like we do every single week, I took a video of myself picking a winner, and we will insert that video here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's giveaway portion of the program. If you recall, we're giving away these 2 lovely wine charts. One is Wine a Bit by Lizzie Kate, and the other is Let's Do Wine, designed by Ursula Michael for Imaginating. And we asked you all to enter the giveaway to answer the question, what is your favorite wine? And if you don't have a favorite wine, then just what's your favorite beverage? And we're going to use the YouTube random comment picker that we've been using for the last month, 6 weeks. All right, ready? Robin Baharav. Congratulations on your 100th episode. I so enjoy your videos each week. Thank you for taking the time to make them. You're welcome. If I do, don't mind Pam dying over there. If I do drink wine, it is Debonne Riesling Reserve white wine. But my absolute favorite beverage is A&W root beer. Hoping you have a great week. Congratulations, Robin. All we need from you now is your physical address, and if you would be so kind as to send that address to Pam's email address, which is listed in the description box below, we will send these beautiful wine charts out to you. Thank you all so much for entering, and I will send you back to regularly scheduled programming now. Bye!
Cool. So congratulations, Robin. And thanks for the wine recommendation. I really appreciate it. I've decided I'm going to start a wine journal and keep track of the ones that everybody suggested and give it a go. 1 through 5 star rating, if you will.
All right. Perfect.
So that'll go right out as soon as we hear from you on your mailing address.
Yes. So this will be our last giveaway for the month of June.
Because we're just getting too busy.
This next thing we're going to show you.
Yeah.
So we got a package from the lovely people over at the Fat Quarter Shop.
Yep.
And they have a FlossTube and as well as a website if you quilt or watch FlossTube at all.
Right.
I'm sure that you've heard of Fat Quarter Shop. And we were sent their latest release, and I was so excited to get this because I really love it. Yes, I know that I don't sew. That was the first thing Pam said. Well, you don't sew. And I was like, whatever. I still like it.
Someday she might.
I might. I'm young. Okay. And this is their newest pattern release from It's So Emma Stitchery by Lori Holt of Be a My Bought It Company. And this is called So She Did. I mean, I like inspirational quotes, Pam, and you know that.
Yeah.
She believed she could, so she did.
Yeah.
And so this chart, like, cute little layout. Love it.
Love the colors.
Yes, love it. And they sent one for us to add to our stash, and they sent one for you to add to yours.
There you go.
So,
what is the comment going to be?
The question?
Or the question to be answered to be entered in the giveaway?
I have an idea.
Okay.
What's your favorite inspirational quote?
Oh, that's excellent. What's your favorite inspirational quote?
Yeah. And then, because I have a inspirational quote wall.
Yeah.
So
if you want to be entered to get this great chart from Fat Quarter Shop, then in the comments, comment what your favorite inspirational quote is. And that will automatically enter you into the drawing that Steph will do in next week's video.
Right. And this chart retails for $9.98.
Brand new, never been opened.
Yep. If you just can't wait and you want to go buy it right now. And it comes with a full color instructions. It's a color chart, so it's perfect for beginners. So we've shown and given away a few Fat Quarter Shop
items.
It's So Emma.
Oh, yeah.
Stitchery patterns in the past. And like I said, they're color charts. They're really easy to read. Great for beginners. And then it comes with full color instructions, list of supplies, including the suggested DMC. And the model is stitched on 10 count fabric, but you can stitch it on anything that you want. And like I said, it's $9.98. So
there you go.
If you want to check it out, I will link both the Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube channel below, along with their website if you don't know it already.
Yeah.
The It's So Emma.
Right.
Shop below. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. We've got some shout outs that we didn't really have time for last week, so we've postponed them. Yep. We've been watching a lot of FlossTube. I want to mention 3 that we watched that you need to check out.
Yes.
The first one is someone who's coming to StitchCon. And
is she?
Yes. And she is in Massachusetts. So there's another New England stitcher. Her name is Apple. And she's originally, even though she lives in Massachusetts now and has for several years, she's originally from Indiana.
Yes.
So her YouTube channel is hoosierapple. Yeah. hoosierapple.
Right.
And
Hoosier as in Indiana.
Right. Not who's your apple, but Hoosier.
That's what I thought
apple.
It was supposed to be, was Who's Your Apple.
Yeah. And she's a delight. She's an absolute delight. I love her personality.
Yes.
I cannot wait to meet her and chat with her.
Absolutely.
So hoosierapple is the first one. Go check her out. The second one is Kathleen, and her channel name is Geek Floss. She is also coming to StitchCon.
She most definitely is.
That's right.
Yes.
And I had to kind of rewind for a sec.
These were two people that we watched off the StitchCon list.
Right.
That we were like, why don't they have more subscribers than they do?
Yeah.
Like, we would think that you would like them.
Yeah, so we want to give them some love and encourage you to do the same.
Absolutely.
Kathleen, as her channel name says, is a self-proclaimed geek. She's, I think she's a gamer, and but she's owning it. She's owning it, man. And so anybody out there who might fall into that category will really appreciate Kathleen and her channel. So go over to Geek Floss.
Yes.
Also, a new one. I think she's up to 4. She has a great personality. Her name is Erin, Erin.
Oh my God, I love Erin.
And her channel is, get this, 2 Martini Stitcher. Isn't that the cutest thing?
Love it.
She's usually got some kind of drink going on, and it's fun to see what she starts her episode with.
She's hysterical.
And she is really, really funny.
Like, super
her kids are into dance, as in...
Oh, her girls are, yeah.
Yeah, into, like, ballet and things like that.
I think it's hip-hop dancing.
Well, it's dance.
Dancing.
So
more dancing than I do.
Yeah. Me either. So go check out.
But she's hysterical, like super
she's
comfortable.
Really
in
got
front
a
of the
great
camera.
personality to do FlossTubes. So make sure you check her out.
Yes.
Also want to mention that someone gave us a shout out that we really appreciate, and we want to encourage you to check out this channel, especially if you cross stitch and knit and do other crafts.
Correct.
And that's Joanna, and her channel is Stitching the High Notes. Joanna is, like I said, a multi-crafter. Her channel choreography is very polished and nice.
Like a put together, knows what she's doing, knows
beautiful
how to edit.
photography. She's in the Bay Area. She's in San Francisco. And get this, you guys, she sings for the San Francisco Opera Company. So that's where she gets her title, is Stitching the High Notes.
Yes. She has these cute little, like, segments, like, you know how we have, like, mail call and all the things, and she has all these different named segments, too, and it's just very, very, very well done. And
she has her section called the Cross Stitch Corner.
Yep.
And that's where you're going to find her cross stitching. And at the very end, which is very clever, she has a section called Backstage Chatter, where she actually talks about singing for the opera,
which is super cool.
It's all opera stuff. So if you're into opera, you need to be,
or you're just like curious,
following Joanna and watching her channel.
Absolutely,
she's been going for about 3 years.
Yeah,
and so
she's got a good following, but she's been doing a lot of knitting and crocheting, and she's just starting to like get into. The reason that she shouted us out, which was so awesome, is because she has a question and answer segment, and someone asked her, she's huge on Ravelry too, if you're into knitting and all that, but someone had asked in a question and answer thread that, hey, I'm new to FlossTube, what's some FlossTubes you would recommend? And she so kindly recommended us, and that was very, very sweet.
Along with 5 or 6 others.
Right.
That
so
you'd all recognize.
Right. But it was just very, very, very sweet. Right. So we thought that if you had not checked her out.
So we want to publicly, again, thank Joanna for the wonderful shout out.
Thank you.
And to encourage everybody, especially if you are a multi needler. Her knitting is beautiful. She modeled a couple of beautiful cowls. Oh my goodness. And I can admire it. I'm not interested in learning to knit or crochet, but I can sure admire it. And her work is beautiful. Yeah. She calls them makes. That's her terminology. All of her makes. Yeah. So go check them out. Check out all of those floss tubes.
Everyone will be linked below.
Everybody's got a different flavor and a different style, and there's something for everybody.
Right.
Okay. We are heading into the home stretch, getting ready for StitchCon. So that's going to pretty much, we're having weekly meetings now, and we are pretty much dedicated to everything that we can do to bring StitchCon to life for the second year. So that's pretty much going to do it for us. We're heading on to 2 hours and so much to talk about. So we're going to wrap this up, and hope that you are looking forward to a good week. Thanks for spending some time with us. We hope you got something out of it. We hope you laughed with us and smiled with us. And
we didn't cry this week, so hopefully you didn't cry either. But.
No. We don't cry often. Anyway, that's
wait for the StitchCon video. Then I'll cry twice, if not 3 times, because I did last year.
So anyway, enter the giveaway to get those.
Get the chart from.
Get the inspirational quotes. Get your mind going. Give us some good quotes, and we're going to see you next week.
We will.
In the meantime, I'm Pam,
and I'm Stephanie,
and this is Just Keep Stitching.